Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. In this video, we are going to talk about this particular section. Let me close this. And understanding which methods can achieve root user protection. Now, it's one important thing that AWS wants you to understand is that the ways you can, I'm sorry, methods you can achieve root user protection. Now, to achieve root user protection, you need to the first thing which we need to do, or I did when you created an AWS account, one of those things was creating or enabling multi-factor authentication. So this would really help you even in case of a password getting compromised by a hacker. He would not actually have access to your authenticator app, right, which has enabled in AWS using MFA. Now this is the first thing, and we have discussed enough about this, so I'm not going to go in much detail about this. So we're going to go to the second method of limit root access. So this means that AWS strongly recommends you that the root user is not used on a daily operational task. Instead, create a IAM user and role like I told you before on the previous example or hands-on, and give the specific permission, like for example, administrator permission, because not on a daily basis, you would really require a root user. Though we are using it because we are doing testing and training purpose. That's the reason why we are actually having a root user running on our system on a daily basis. But if in case that you are using a company account, you should be actually logging into your administrative user. So that's the second one. The third one is about the storing root user credentials securely. So this is one of the very important items. Ensure that the root account credentials like email, password, MFA devices are stored in a secure control manner. So normally what we do is like we will have a location in our office where in which we will have a room which is blocked by a senior access, and when you open that you will actually have the MFA device, and the in a I think in aluminum they would have written the password in a coded method, so they would have actually hard coded on the aluminum tag, or sometimes they would write it on a paper and keep it inside the password, and they would use that password and then the combination of the security device to log into the root user. So it will be safe and securely stored in a safe, okay, within a protected room. That's how they maintain the compliance. If there is a deviation in that, the compliance will be a big deal and the auditors will have a problem. So the compliance is not just about how you store your data in terms of your AWS account on the online, but it is also how you're going to store your root information, your username and password, and mostly secured your MFA authentication, how you're going to keep that as part of your office location as well. So it is all involving all those factors. The next one we're going to talk about using Cloud Trial. Now, Cloud Trial can give you the complete trial of activities, which is done by the root user. So monitoring the activities done by the root user is also one of those ways. Like for example, Cloud Trial logs and monitors all the API calls, including the root user actions. Set up notification alerts if there is any root account usage. So in this way, you will actually get a SNS notification or CloudWatch alarm if there is an action taken by the root user. Okay, so we will cover it in the advanced training, but at this moment, you just need to know about the only about the information that you can use Cloud Trial. But there is feature where we can integrate it with SNS notification, CloudWatch alarm, and then trigger it when there is a activity done by the root user. Next one is like enable lockout in terms of unsuccessful attempt. So it's very important that an unsuccessful attempt of logging into your AWS account as a root user needs to have a temporary lock, access to the different number of failed attempts. So that is also something which you can do. And you can use tools like AWS Guard Duty to monitor the brute force attempt and ensuring the account lockout policies. So these are something which you can do. The next one is about keep root user credentials offline. So that's another one I told you about, where you can actually save your password, your MFI device on a physically stored in a safe under a room, okay, which is guarded by a access card. The next one is like using strong unique passwords. So making sure that the root account has a strong unique password which is not reused, and then it is automatically generated by the system. So the system generated passwords are tough and random. Okay, so this is always recommended to do that, rather than a human generated password would be based upon his birthday or it could be something else. So you use a system generated password which would be very much a random and created one, and there's no point of guessing it, and it will have longer characters over there so that you can use it properly. All right, so this is how, or this is the question would come based around this in terms of how you can protect the user. The questions would be a little tricky over here. So it will be asking you, like, a company is wants to secure their username and password and the MFI device. What are the different methods they can store it offline? So they will give you all these options and then ask you to choose the best. So when you talk about offline, you have to always think about a safe. Okay, so lock it in a safe where you have like ID card protected safe, where in which only limited users can access that. So likewise, the questions could come. All right. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave it on the question section.